A very good evening to you. My name is Marissa Marinda and you are watching Newsplus. Here's hoping you've had a fantastic day and a great start to the new month. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines. Zimbabwe's engagement and re-engagement agenda takes center stage again as President Mnangagwa joins other world leaders at the high level of World Governments Summit in the United Arab Emirates. Stay tuned for more details on that story. Also coming up on Newsplus, calls for the repatriation of African historical artifacts lying in different parts of European museums continues as Zimbabwe celebrates Black History Month. Who will police the police? That's the question everyone is probably asking following the arrest of a police officer in Masvingo for unlawful possession of illicit drugs valued at $19,000 US. That story in our look at Crime Watch. And in the world of sport, the Zimbabwe Football Association aims to give every talent a chance by launching the Bank ABC Roots Impact Junior League program. Now for the news in greater detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa is in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to attend the high-level World Governments Summit as Zimbabwe intensifies its engagement and re-engagement drive with the global community. More in the following report.
The three-day World Government Summit, running under the theme Shaping Future Governments, brings together over 40 heads of state, policymakers, business leaders and innovators to deliberate on governance models in a rapidly changing global environment shaped by technological advancement and shifting geopolitical dynamics. The summit is expected to attract more than 150 government delegations and over 6,000 participants, with discussions focusing on artificial intelligence, education, mobility, sustainability, and economic resilience.
As you know, Zimbabwe is growing in terms of economy, is growing in terms of confidence under the leadership of His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, in the Second Republic. We are really engaging the world with something to offer.
President Mnangagwa was welcomed at Al Maktoum International Airport by senior UAE government officials, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Professor Amon Murwira, and Zimbabwe's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, Isaac Moyo. On the sidelines of the summit, the president is expected to hold a series of bilateral engagements with political and business leaders as Zimbabwe deepens its integration into the global economy.
Which is going to be facilitated by some very prominent international news people, where he is going to be together with his counterparts to talk about the future of Africa.
This year's summit will for the first time host the World Laureate Summit, bringing Nobel Prize winners and leading scientists into global policy debates. Zimbabwe's participation comes as the country continues to position itself as a peaceful, stable, and future-oriented investment destination, leveraging its vast mineral wealth, strong human capital base, and growing international profile.
We are now joined live by Lazarus Sauti, an international relations expert. Lazarus, a very good evening to you. Now, what's the significance of Zimbabwe's participation at the World Governments Summit?
So Zimbabwe is a player in international politics, is shaping the discourse of governance in Dubai. By participating, it is constructively engaging in issues that improve not only governance, but also transparency, the adaptation of technology. Remember, the embracing of ICTs is also part of the World Governance Summit, so it is of paramount importance for Zimbabwe to participate. Then another thing, the summit is going to push the Zim narrative that it is willing to engage in international activities that promote peace, that promote development, that also enhance security in the world. So it is of importance to Zimbabwe to engage at such high-level summits.
Right, so looking at Zimbabwe's foreign policy, how is Zimbabwe taking advantage of such platforms to further its economic agenda?
So the foreign policy mantra of the Second Republic is engagement and re-engagement, and by participating in Dubai at the World Governance Summit, the President is pushing that agenda. I believe he is going to have meetings, side meetings with world leaders, with thought leaders, and discuss further investment opportunities. Remember, we have critical minerals in this country, and what we really need is to industrialize, and it is the global world. It is financiers who can help us to industrialize and to make sure that we are benefiting from our critical minerals.
Thank you so much for your insights. That was Lazarus Sauti, an international relations expert, joining us live to discuss more on the President's visit to the high-level World Governments Summit in Dubai. Moving on, Zimbabwe has called for the repatriation of African history lying in different parts of European museums. The call was made by Museum of African Liberation Chief Executive Ambassador Kwame Muzavadzi during celebrations to mark Black History Month at the Heritage Village in Harare today.
Black History Month is celebrated internationally, dedicated to celebrating Black people, with a special focus on their achievements and contributions to global development. However, concerns were raised during the launch that the story of Black men has not been adequately articulated.
Let us therefore confront the most painful wounds to our dignity, the myth of the void, the whisper that our hands built nothing of lasting value. This lie crumbles today to dust before the indisputable monuments of history.
Ambassador Muzavazi said African artifacts are still in museums and other continents which should be addressed.
As we celebrate Black History Month, we call upon the repatriation of African history that is lying in various capitals of the world. It must be repatriated from the cold, distant vaults of European museums. It must come back home.
Several political figures attended the launch, highlighting the importance of demystifying misinformation surrounding Black history.
Zuva ranhasi rakakosha nokuti rotidzidzisa kuti zvataidzidziswa zvazviri musango. Chokwadi ndechekuti makore akawanda vanhu vatema vane zvavakauyisa kunyaya yatinoti civilization nhasi.
While the celebrations have officially begun, what truly matters is what people learn, embrace and internalize throughout the month. For ZTM Prime, I am Satachisiwe Kwaza in Harare.
For many residents of Highfield, access to clean and safe water remains a daily struggle. With taps dry for weeks on end, families are now relying on untreated wells and boreholes, raising serious health concerns. We give you more in the following report.
Bores and wells, often contaminated with sewage, are now the main source of water for many. Health risks are real. In areas like Highfield, Glenview, and other suburbs in Harare, residents go for days and some have gone for months with dry taps. With council water supplies failing for prolonged periods, residents here have little choice but to rely on untreated water sources, some dug just a few meters from their home. These residents are aware of the health risks.
Isusu mvura yekunwa tinotonochera kuchibhorani uko. Asi chibhorani chine nguva yachinovhurwa nenguva yachinovharwa. Saka ndezvekuti kana ukanonoka wakusvikayo panzvimbo kana chavharwa hapasina kuwana mvura. Saka touya pane rimwe dambudziko rekuti mvura mumatepu haibude. Saka takapedzisira tatozongochera zvimatsime izvi. Ofuche zvimatsime izvi mvura yacho ikagarisa yakadaro inopedzisira yabuda zvimazerere zvegreen. Zvabuda zvimazerere zviya izvi hatina imwe option asi kutongoishandisa iyoyo.
Health experts warn that untreated water exposes these families to waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid, especially in densely populated areas like Highfield.
Saka tunotopona nekunochera matsime imomo tosuka towacha yekunwa tozotora pachibhorani. Chibhorani chedu chinovhurwa katu makuseni nemanheru. Saka ukatadzochera mvura manheru like kuno vanoenda kubasa kutotaura kuti vanhu ivo vachatenga mvura.
Behind me is one of several bores saving hundreds of households in this area. Reports indicate that most bores in Harare are contaminated, and the Harare City Council has since issued an alert warning that the city is at risk of another cholera outbreak. Until lasting solutions are found, Highfield residents remain trapped in a daily struggle for water, risking their health just to meet basic human need. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Mirirain Singo.
Who is policing the police? That story and more when we come back.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect and stay connected to DSTV Compact and get the best football on us.
A police officer was arrested earlier today following a high-speed chase for unlawful possession of illicit drugs valued at $19,000 in Masvingo. Inspector Pikirai Hakata was apprehended alongside his accomplice Ringisai Mapirwe, a known drug dealer from Dzivarasekwa. Inspector Hakata, driving a silver Toyota Aqua, attempted to evade a police checkpoint on the Masvingo Beitbridge Road. He was intercepted within 5 kilometers of the checkpoint after a brief pursuit. The arresting officers conducted a search of the vehicle and discovered 83 cobs of dacha concealed in the car's boot and back seat. Both Inspector Hakata and Mapirwe were taken to the Masvingo Criminal Investigations Department, CID, for drugs and narcotics, where they are now facing serious charges as investigations continue. Moving on to our next story. The traditional model of humanitarian aid is undergoing a profound transformation in cities across the country, changing from emergency handouts into long-term resilience and self-sufficiency projects. Our correspondent Theseus Shambare reports.
For a moment, the wait is silent. Then phones buzz and smells appear.
Oh, inini saikwani vahembe oh ezvinoenda kubatwa nehembe nekukora nekudya makatibhonera chokwadi.
Winnie is among over 80,000 people receiving urban cash assistance in Epworth. For her, it means food and relief. For the past 6 months, government and the World Food Programme provided $13 per person every month in Epworth. Cash they control.
Yangu yeraisi makaroni nemafunda nemaspaghetti ndikatodzika nechenji yangu sanjazotengawo zvinhu kamari yasara zvona huku.
Cash is fast, flexible and dignified, supporting local businesses.
So you'll find that this program is a milestone in urban social protection, which showcases how humanitarian and government collaboration can deliver modern people-centered assistance.
In Bulawayo's Lobengula suburb, empowerment is growing from the ground up. A solarized bore at Mamkwanan's garden supports 91 families, turning small plots into steady income.
This is television plus
Youths are also moving into aquaculture, turning skills into enterprise.
ndanga ndakagara kwamba ndisingaiti anything but izvezvi ndaona opportunity yokuti ndigone nekudzidzirawo nekuchengeta fish.
A well-managed garden can earn up to $3,000 a year, strengthening food security from household level.
We are not importing cabbage, rape and so forth, all these smaller crops, because we are producing more than enough.
As the lean season bites, trucks roll in and are loaded, not as symbols of poverty, but of transition. In Epworth and Bulawayo, aid is no longer a safety net, it is capital, a window through which many are changing their lives. For ZTN Prime, I'm Theseus Chambari.
As we get into the new month of February, let's prepare you for the days ahead with a weather update from James Ngoma, the Chief Forecaster at the Meteorological Services Department. Good evening to you, James. Can you give us an update for the coming days?
Thank you very much for that question. Looking at the conditions that we've had for the past few weeks, we have what we call a high pressure cell that is sitting above much of the country. So as there's clouds build up to try and form the cumulus clouds that we know give us rain, they are suppressed by this high pressure, suppressing the rainfall across much of the country. So only a few showers have been reported over the northern parts in areas such as Yokariba, Guruve, Mukandi, as well as Kanyamba areas, but they haven't been very significant. Most of them have been below 30 and very isolated in nature. Looking at the few days ahead, we're still expecting those isolated falls over the northern parts of the country and very isolated in nature. So if it falls in a particular area today, it won't fall in the same area tomorrow. So they are very, very sparsely distributed, and we're expecting just an increase as we move into the weekend. Looking at the month of February into March, we're still expecting normal to above normal rainfall for much of the period. And with that, it should be good news for the farmers. So the rain season is not yet over. We're still expecting more rains in the coming days.
Thank you so much, James, for that. Now we move on with a story where a catastrophic winter storm that began battering North America on January 23 has now claimed more than 100 lives across the United States, with recovery efforts hampered by persistent power outages and a new round of severe weather forecast for the East Coast. As of Saturday night, over 170,000 households remained without electricity nationwide, leaving vulnerable populations, including thousands of homeless people, struggling to find shelter from life-threatening cold. The U.S. National Weather Service described the cold snap as exceptionally rare, noting that multiple regions have recorded all-time low temperatures. The meteorologists warn that the East Coast is poised for another major winter storm and may experience the lowest temperatures since 1989 in the coming days. Do stay with us. We bring you business news up next.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more, because we got you. You get it? You know that we got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars. It's my specialty. We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone, with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay. We got you. DSTV, we got you all the way.
Government is moving to put in place a multi-layered policy framework aimed at strengthening local industry with a focus on restricting imports of products that can be manufactured locally. Industry and Commerce Minister Mangaliso Ndlovu said government will incentivize local manufacturers to reduce reliance on imports. He said this after touring the pump and steel supplies plant in Bulawayo as part of government's ongoing industrial assessments at the start of 2026.
And today we are in the iron and steel value chain. The way pump and steel, the company that is company formed around 25 years ago, operating here in Bulawayo. For a number of years, they have been importing most of their raw materials from South Africa and from China. But the coming in of Dinson has seen them begin to buy local most of their raw materials. There are still some that are importing because Dinson is yet to produce those. And I know they're in the process also of bringing more equipment so that we are able to supply most of our needs.
He said the establishment of Dinson Iron and Steel Company has helped companies such as pump and steel suppliers get raw materials. The minister said the new policy direction is aimed at safeguarding local industry and improving capacity utilization. Pump and Steel commended government for efforts in creating a conducive business environment, saying it gave confidence for more investment in the country.
So our preparation starts from here. Cutting, the drawing, like I said, we don't do standard products. We are customized, tailor-made. It could be a structure, it could be the mining, cocoa palm, everything. Then are tailor-made to customers. So after our material, we issue to our cutting board. Then I'll go this
Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, Zhou Ding, has pledged to support Zimbabwe's National Development Strategy 2 through bilateral relations, economic cooperation and cultural exchanges. He said this during the launch of Build Your Dreams BYD vehicles at Tsapo Group of Companies in Harare, as stakeholders highlighted the role of electric mobility in supporting green economy. Ambassador Ding said China and Zimbabwe enjoy a cordial relationship with potential for growth.
And I think BYD is not just bringing in more options for Zimbabwe customers. They're also bringing in cutting-edge new energy vehicles and technology, and also bringing in job opportunities for local people, bringing in and provide tax revenue for Zimbabwe.
Tsapo Group of Companies Group Commercial Manager Godfrey Pasipanojga said the partnership with Build Your Dreams Zimbabwe aligns with the government's Look East policy and Zimbabwe's sustainable development agenda.
And as you listen to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals that Zimbabwe has, this is one of the key issues that we face from a government level and now transcending into the corporates. This is why I think we are pushing all the corporates to go green.
The United Nations Development Programme says the Village Business Unit VBU model will advance inclusive economic participation, particularly for women and youth, and serve as a foundation for local production and trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Government is working on developing 35,000 community business units across the country, and the Zimbabwe Resilience Building Fund Phase 2 being implemented by UNDP is complementing those efforts.
And this is not just what we do. We've done a lot of other things. There is a project called, there is an irrigation scheme called in Pikirini Jawanda in Mashingo, where now, and also there is another one called the Gororo Irrigation Scheme, also in Mashingo, which we are going to commission next week. They have already started exporting chili to Spain and Italy.
VBUs are emerging as practical economic hubs promoting climate-smart horticulture that reduces vulnerability to climate shocks while increasing household incomes. Government says the model is driving rural industrialization and resilience, turning smallholder farming communities into productive, market-oriented enterprises.
What is exciting is that UNDP is coming to partner government in a program that has been initiated by government. This is unlike what we see other development partners doing. They normally come to us with pre-packaged initiatives. which may not be of priority to us at this level. But we've seen them coming on board and providing funding, providing expertise to establish village business units.
As we round up the bulletin, let's take a look at what's happening in sport. As the nation continues to bemoan the absence of vibrant grassroots development structures, the Zimbabwe Football Association has come up with ways to solve the issue by launching the Bank ABC Roots Impact Junior League program aimed at giving every talent a chance. We get more in the following report.
As Zimbabwean football continues to search for consistency at senior level, attention has once again been turned to grassroots football as the foundation of a sustainable talent pipeline. Both the Warriors and the Mighty Warriors struggled for impact at major tournaments in recent years, fueling calls for greater investment in junior development as the bedrock of national teams. ZIFA last week launched the Bank ABC Roots Impact Junior League program as part of a 10-year development plan. The program focuses on both girls and boys football in a bid to bring balance across the board. The move has raised optimism among stakeholders, with some of Zimbabwe's top talent having come through a mix of private academies and nationally supported junior structures.
In 10 years' time, we hope to consistently participate in the league tournaments, the AFCON, the World Cup. It is our desire to consistently qualify and get good results because we have the engine room of creating this talent that's required. So this is the future we see, where Zimbabwe can be recognized as a regional, continental powerhouse in football.
The ZIFA Eastern Region Soccer League has backed the grassroots push by making under-17 boys teams mandatory for all clubs, with juniors set to gain regular match exposure as curtain raisers this season.
We'd like to make it mandatory that all the clubs who are going to participate in the Eastern Regional Soccer League do adopt an under-17 team which shall play as curtain raisers at all their home matches, and that the results will be shared with the office on a weekly basis, just like how we do it with the senior team.
The corporate sector has also come on board, partnering with ZIFA on long-term development projects aimed at securing the future of the game.
I think the first thing that I need to do is to thank the current ZIFA president for the order he's brought into football. Because as private sector, we thrive on order. Because we've got shareholder money, we've got stakeholders who are very sensitive. Our business is a trust business, and normally our customers want to be associated with things that are organized and orderly. And I think for the longest time, we've had a lot of problems within the ZIFA structures. And now that has come through, when he approached my office with the request for this sponsorship, it was a very easy decision for me to make.
With a promising 2026 calendar featuring both international and local competitions, grassroots football now sits firmly at the heart of Zimbabwean football's forward plans. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Tawanda Mutali.
FC Platinum coach Joel Lupahla has expressed satisfaction with how his side's pre-season is going. The Platinum Miners are currently in Zambia, where they have played 2 friendlies against Zanaco FC and Napsters FC. FC Platinum are rebuilding after the departure of long-serving head coach Norman Mapeza for Scotland during the off-season.
I'm very grateful and happy that the club management managed to bring us outside the country, because the main reason is to bond, to bring the team together. Remember, we have brought in a lot of players, so...
We've come to the end of our bulletin tonight. My name is Marissa Marinda, and from me and the crew behind the scenes, we say have a splendid evening, and we leave you watching the weather forecast.